I have a great idea.
But I'll never do it.
It might happen. Sure. The monkeys might fly out of my butt. I don't think so.
I don't see it happening.
It's happening. We're recording, and this is I Have a Great Idea, but I'll Never Do It, and I'm Jon, and you're Louise.
Hi!
Well, actually, you are the listening audience.
Yes.
That voice is Louise.
Yes.
Confirmed.
Confirmed.
It's Louise. Louise, who is semi-freshly back from a crazy trip. Can you talk about it?
I can. Jet lag is for reals. When you're going that direction, by the by, I went to the other side of the planet. I went to Nepal. And then I went to Bangkok, Thailand for 4 days. And it's crazy because 52 hours I was in the air.
Dang.
I think that's how that works. Wait. I can't do math. You know what?
It's okay.
You know what?
This isn't a math podcast.
It's not
an
a math
idea podcast.
That's right. Here's an idea. Take some more math class, everyone.
Pay attention in school,
That's
kids.
right. And I want to tell you about vacation. But first, speaking of math class, okay. Quick side note story. My phone has been freaking out. So before the trip, I made a Genius Bar appointment and was like, hey, can you guys fix my phone before vacation? And they were like, yeah, we'll just take it from you and give you a loaner. And I was like,
What?
Oh, no, I'm going to keep it. So I kept it for vacation. And then when I got back, I had gotten 38 temperature warnings. Now,
Oh, jeez.
I was in the Himalayas. So it's not like, I mean, I was in Bangkok. But it's not like I was in the Caribbean, in the sunshine, with my phone, in the sand, and forgot about it, and that's why it heated up. It, like, something was going on. So I brought it back to the Apple Store. And, don't get mad. How did I get on this tangent?
Math.
That's right. No, wait. No, I really don't know. Oh, yes, I do. Okay. So I was trying to log in because apparently to do specific diagnostics on my phone, they needed me to log into my iCloud account from their laptop. And I have the two-factor authentication. And for some reason, it was prompting me to reset my password. By the by, I probably haven't reset that password since I got an Apple ID. On iCloud, but they were asking me these security questions. And one of the questions, which I chose, was, who is your least favorite teacher?
Okay.
And I was like, oh my God, I don't know his name. Oh my God. Like, I know what class he taught. I know what grade it was. I can see his face. I don't know his name. And I was like, can I answer like another question? You know how they make you put in like 7 security questions. I was like, can I skip this one? And they were like, no. So I'm texting my friend.
Oh my God.
About like, oh my God, who taught geometry? I hate this man. And I was like, not only did he terrorize me in high school and create this burning, seething hatred, but he's still haunting me. Like 20 years later. Anyway, math. Pay attention in math, you guys.
Yeah, and if nothing else, pay attention to the person's name who is tormenting you.
Or just
and remember that.
Pick different security questions. I don't know. Maybe your favorites of things and not your least favorites.
Okay, I'm going to side tangent off of your side tangent and talk about those security questions because yeah, I can never remember the answers to them because they're always like, what is your favorite blank? And
it changes
I'm gonna be honest
daily.
with you. I know, because if it's like, what's your favorite food? And I'm like, I'm in the mood for pizza. And then I write in pizza. And then the next time when I actually have to figure it out. And it's
How
like,
could
what's
it
your
not be
favorite food?
hummus?
And
How
I'm
could it
just
not
like,
be
I don't know,
hummus?
cake is great. Hummus is amazing. Yeah, come on. So, yeah, I hate those questions that are your favorite blank. I can't do those. I don't know what a good security question would be.
No.
Because like anybody can find out what my mother's maiden name is.
Right. I also feel like I had all this information in a secure note in 1Password. Shout out to 1Password if anybody uses that. I love it, but because we had gone to this like different factory setting on my phone, or we were inside of a diagnostic, so I couldn't like go back to the home screen and I like access the apps. Like I was like, can I just like there was not a good way to do it. Okay, anyway. So went to the Apple store. Vacation was amazing, but jet lag is a real thing. When you're going the first way, the way that I went, you wake up in your destination at like 5 in the morning. So you're like, this is great. I have like a jump start on my day and I get to like be the first at places and avoid the rush because I'm just awake now. It was amazing when I was in Japan. It was when I was in Nepal, just because sometimes things don't open until later. Also, Nepal is less touristy in that way than Japan. Anyway, coming back, that is the demon. There was a good 5 days, I'd say, where I could not make it to 8 o'clock at night. Like
oh boy.
I was like, no, I'm done. And I can't. And then I'd wake up at 2 in the morning and be like, okay, what are we doing?
It's daytime and I'm awake.
Yep.
Let's do everything right now.
Yep. So yeah, vacation was really good. Eye-opening experience. I had
cool.
Good time. I had the best of times. I had the worst of times. I had the times that remind me of the better times.
Are you chumbawumbing me right now?
I am trying.
You're trying. Did you have the whiskey drink and the vodka drink and the lager drink? Mm-hmm. Cool.
And the cider drink.
Let's not forget the cider drink. No. Well, we're not here to talk about Chumbawamba.
No.
We're here to talk about great ideas.
That would be a good idea for a podcast.
Okay. Well, all right. While we're talking about good ideas for podcasts, I need to talk to you about something that came up on the last episode, and that was the Uproar podcast.
That's right.
Because, like, I couldn't stop thinking about it, and I was like, maybe I could do it. Maybe I just don't have to do it on a schedule. I can do it when I can do it. And, maybe it's like once every 4 months, and that's okay.
It's whenevs.
And, yeah, so I registered, I believe, uproarpod@gmail.com and 707-UPROAR1.
Heck yes.
The phone number. So
I believe I even may have on our Instagram given the pod an official Louis Vuitton shoe.
What?
Didn't you see that on our Instagram?
I don't think I did see that.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, everyone's got to go to Great Idea Pod on Instagram and see what Louise is talking about.
Official high heel of the pod.
Of course.
It's like a lion's foot or like a wildcat like foot, but it's a stiletto.
Oh, my God. I love it. Because every podcast needs an official fancy shoe.
Hey.
So Chumbawamba podcast, is that your actual first idea?
That was just a in the pod idea.
Okay.
No, my first idea, I don't think I talked about this last episode. What I think is throwing me off is that I talked about this with friend of the pod, Scott Wiener. And that's why I feel like I talked about it on an episode. But I'm just going to like throw it out there. And if you're like, you talked about that last time, then just tell me. But the idea is a tetanus fence.
You did not talk about this before. Go on.
So, you know how oftentimes there are fences of different kinds. There's wooden fences, picket fences, chain link fences.
Seen them. Talked about them on episode 1, I believe.
So this fence is a super rusty fence that you might find somewhere, but the top, the part that you're most likely to fall on top of, is like full of little needles that prick you with the shot that you need to get should you fall on a rusty fence and then need to go to the hospital and get a tetanus shot. It's like taking out the next step. It's like you're already covered.
It's like the greatest service and disservice at the same time.
Yeah. I think that when I told Scott, he was like, or just make fences that don't rust. But I didn't have that idea. That is also a good idea, but not one that I had.
You know, with healthcare the way it is these days, we may need to have fences that have little shots on top of them. Because where else are you going to get them?
It's like tetanus fence. You're already covered.
You're already covered.
Yeah.
That's I think the weirdest idea we've ever talked about. How did you come up with that? I don't know.
I think
what was going on?
I think
Did you see a rusty fence?
Yeah, I think or maybe I almost fell on one, but I think I was walking the dog in the park. And you know how they have those like temporary fences to protect like certain lawns that get reseeded, and then they like they roll the fences.
Yeah.
Like often event fencing, but less secure than that. Mostly, I think it's just to protect the grass. Well, anyway, I was like, whoa, there's a fence that wasn't there before. And then looked at it, and it was like spikes were coming out of it. And I was really thinking, like, uh-oh, if Roland would have, like, quick moved, he could have poked his eye out. But instead, I could have fallen on it and needed to go get a tetanus shot. Idea.
Yeah.
Tetanus fence.
Yeah, that's a truly bizarre idea. It's truly bizarre.
That's what I'm here for, some of the times.
It's almost like barbed wire that has, like, gauze on the other side.
Yeah. Although gauze would even get caught up in the barbed wire.
It would just be like a layer of gauze on, like, underneath it.
Yeah.
So that once you get it, you're just like, oh, here we go, wrapping it up.
Whew, good thing that gauze was there.
Good thing. Man, it seemed like a crazy idea at first, but here we are.
Here we are.
I love that. That's really funny. Speaking of, how is Mr. Road Dog doing?
My God, he's great. I went to go pick him up from the dog sitter after vacation, and I was waiting for this, like, bum 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 bum, like epic reuniting in a field in a meadow of flowers and twirling and embracing. And he was like, oh hey
Ma.
yeah, like, oh hey, what's up? No, he did like run over. Like I was in a store. My dog sitter brought him to work that day, and I walked into the store, and I was all stealthy, and I was like, quiet. And he like peeked his head out around an ottoman and like tipped his head and was like, hey, I think that's my mom. And then his ears like shot back, and he had a little softball head, and he like ran over and like sniffed me and wagged his tail and gave me like one kiss, and then was like, hey, and then went on his way. And I was like, excuse me, I haven't seen you in like 2 weeks. But this is just like expectation versus reality.
Yeah.
But he is so great.
I was just thinking before we started recording about how much I love my dog Daisy.
Yeah.
She is a real treat.
I've been taking a good look at the butt because it's been on Instagram.
She's got a funny butt. Yeah.
Dog butt.
Yeah. Dog butts are pretty hilarious. You know how, and I know that some people post pictures if they if a particular dog's butt, and I'm not talking about just like the top of it, but like right underneath the business part of it, where it just kind of like has a shape to it. It's almost like an ink blot kind of thing. And some of them look like animals. And I was, I noticed daisies, and I was just like, there's a little penguin.
Oh.
Got a little penguin going on over there. Just going like, wah, wah, wah.
Very cool.
Yeah. Yeah, dog butts.
Dovetailing on that,
dovetailing. I don't know about dove butting on that.
Dove butting. I love most dog butts. I do not like, don't freak out yet, listener, corgi butts in nylons.
Oh, no.
Have you seen that? It's like an internet
so
sensation.
weird.
It's so weird.
I'm a big fan of the corgi butt.
Me too.
And if there's I'm just going to say it right now, your challenge for the next episode, corgi butts.
Oh, yes. I can't wait. Do you remember what my challenge was for this week?
What I challenged you to?
Yeah.
Communicating with dogs.
Yeah. I got 2 dog ideas in a row.
Nice. I feel like dog ideas. I don't think we'll ever have a cat idea.
Probably not. Oh, speaking of, so I don't want to give away my address, so I'll do this really quickly. Boyfriend Chris got some like reverse, not reverse, but return.
Address stickers.
Yeah. So half of them are dogs, half of them are cats, and he like undid the mail and he showed this to me, and I was like, oh, well, you can just throw away the cat ones. It was like the first thing I said.
It's like I've met some okay cats.
I've met some okay cats.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Yeah.
It's not my first choice.
Right. Dog all the way.
Dog all the way.
So, all right. Well, we'll get to those in a second. I did have, I had one idea.
Okay.
I had one fresh idea. Okay. This is a little crazy, and this is something that like only rich people could probably have and probably wouldn't need, because this is a small kitchen solution.
Okay.
All right. So it is, Louise, you've had a small kitchen before.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what it's like to have a small kitchen. Counter space can be a real issue. And, of course, there's like, you can get like a little island, but what if you don't have room for such a thing? But what if you could have like floor panels that like lift up and legs like telescope out from the floor, and you can like prop up and they just go back down and flatten up against the floor.
I like it.
So it's like tile, and of course you'll clean it before you use it, I hope, but insta counter space.
I like it. Do you want to know the craziest thing?
Tell me the craziest thing.
I also have a small kitchen solution idea that I was going to save for the next episode, but now
you can't save it,
no,
baby.
Now that you say this, now I want to tell you mine. So
Yeah.
I have been watching on Netflix in the middle of the night because I can't sleep, but in the daytime, sleeping. This show called, I think it's called The Great British Baking Show.
The Great British Bake Off?
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they have these ovens in a tent, and the oven door comes down, but then it slides in so that they can like walk back and forth or put the things in, and then when they pull it out, it's like a drawer, and then it closes up. It's like on a weird hinge where it goes under the oven, and I thought,
Right.
would it be so hard to have, because we all have either, I don't know what things are, concrete or marble if you're fancy, or what are countertops made of? I don't know.
Like granite or like butcher block wood.
Right. So
Yeah.
would it be so hard, because we already have that there, to have drawers, but they're just like cutting boards, but they're extra counter space?
Those do exist. They're not as typical anymore. but I've had kitchens that have had those where it's just like a little piece of wood that slides out.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
I was thinking, half the time I either A, need the cutting board, or B, I just need a place to set something that's coming out of the oven.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
I don't need it all the time. I just, for 1 second, it would be cool to have that thing.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And you gave me a little bit of an idea when you were talking about the ovens with those types of, I guess, doors. But what if it was more like a drawer itself, and you just pull open like this whole unit of oven? It's preheated and whatnot, and instead of having to slide something in and then have to like slide it out or whatever, it just opens and you have like basically a bird's eye view of the entire thing and can just lift up what you need to lift up. Granted, it's a one rack solution, unless you can like slide each individual rack back in if you need to. But
Or why not, when you open it, does like the shelves come out tiered? So that you're not,
yeah.
And then when you close it, they go back in. Does that make sense?
That does make sense.
Because
I like it.
I don't know how many times I've had to, and it's probably only Thanksgiving, that I'm cooking more things in the oven than just one thing, but where I need both of the racks. And I'm like, don't burn yourself on that bottom rack. But if it came out a little bit farther, then I could just like plop, plop, and then close it, and it would telescope both of them.
Yeah. I mean,
The technology is there.
it has to be.
It has to be.
Yeah, I've been thinking a lot about kitchen organization lately, and the biggest issue I've been having lately is with pot lids, and I haven't been able to figure out the best way. And I've read all of the like listicles of like 31 things to do to store your pot lids that you never thought were possible, and it's just like, get a pot lid organizer, and it's like, shut up, list. I know.
You're like, well, when I design my own kitchen and build it from scratch, I'll be sure to put in space for that. But in the meantime...
I know. They're the most annoying things. They don't stack well. They're just... and
so you need
frustrating. Them. You need them.
That's the worst part.
You
could just be like, let's just throw it away.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's the thing.
You remember that guy that climbed Trump Tower with those suction cup things?
The like Spider-Man guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if we made pot lids, but the handles on them were suction cups that you could take off? Because then you could stack them better.
That is a great... And they're just like a little slightly curved piece of glass,
yeah,
but nothing else.
It's almost like a shallow soup bowl that then you could stack.
Yeah.
And then
I love it.
When you needed a handle, suction cup one on there. I mean, if a guy can climb a building, we can pick up a lid.
Or here's a crazy idea. One adjustable pot lid. Like, you know how...
Like Inspector Gadget.
Like Inspector Gadget with a... Yes, exactly. But do you know kind of like a camera aperture, how when you close it, it's like the 5 or 7 like little triangular blades? Yeah, it's kind of like that, but the opposite, where instead of like a hole, it's making the actual thing bigger or smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you just have one pot lid.
I like it. For multiple, if you purchase multiple of them, or like a fan.
Right.
Because I was thinking, like, what if you need to cook green beans and carrots and potatoes? I don't know what you're making.
Well, yeah, then you just get another one.
As many as pots as you have, but yeah.
Man, I apologize to everybody who could hear my dog going crazy. As much as I love her, she is loud.
She's doing what she does.
Yeah, I gotta find a way to like block the bottom of those windows, because everything that goes by, she goes... Bow, 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 bow.
She's doing a really good job. I feel really safe with her there, and I feel like you guys are safer with her there.
Oh man, do you want to hear something really nutty?
Yeah.
First of all, we're not safe with her because
She plays with matches.
yeah, at like 4:00 in the morning last weekend, my wife wakes me up and she's like, the alarm is going off, like the house alarm, like the security system is going off. And I hear the like beeps and they're starting to get like faster before it goes to like siren mode. And
did you go from like dead sleep to like zing because adrenaline just like pulsed through your veins?
Yeah. So my wife, and I apologize for blowing up her spot, but she just like she closes our bedroom door, locks it, and puts a chair up against the door.
Smart.
Meanwhile, Daisy is inside of our room because she was being a butt and whiny, and we let her sleep in there that night, which is rare. And she didn't make a peep, but my wife heard like the front door open and the alarm was like going off and everything. So she just like she barricaded the door and then ran into the closet and was like shivering and crying. And what I ended up doing was we have a security system that we can control using our phones. So out of pure instinct, I turned off the alarm rather than like having it just like go, 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 go. And instead of the alarm company calling 911 for us, which would have like cost us money anyway, I had canceled it so they didn't call. So I just called 911. Somebody came out within like minutes. It was kind of incredible. I know. He was there like within minutes. And of course we were just like, maybe that person saying saying things isn't a cop and it's really a thief, but we don't know. And we just have to believe them when they say that they're a cop.
He wasn't in a uniform?
Well, we had the door closed and barricaded.
Oh.
So we couldn't see him. We just heard him. So I went out and he was indeed a police officer or a convincingly dressed criminal masquerading.
That's taking it to the next level.
I know. That's pretty good. It's
like one of those TV breakdowns when they're like, must have like proper police uniform to like be an extra or something.
Right? Oh my God. That is such like an inside baseball kind of thing that you just did. So yeah, it was like a very convincing cop costume. And
or an actual police officer.
And we just kind of like walked around the house and he was like, yeah, the door was kind of like open a little bit. And what ended up happening was, I guess when I had come in with the dog that night, I didn't like latch the door. Like I had the doorknob actually locked, but because it hadn't like latched, it didn't catch on anything. So
oh my God.
What ended up happening was the newspaper delivery person threw the paper against the door and it pushed it open a little crack and set us all into a little frenzy. So, yeah.
Wow. I was going to be like, I don't know how you're still so calm and collected about this. Someone tried to get into your house.
No, they didn't.
Nope.
It was the New York Times.
All right. Well,
the failing New York Times.
I think that's safe to say that all newspapers are.
Maybe. I don't know. Some of them are on an uptick.
Really?
Yeah.
Good for them.
Yeah. Way to go, buds. Maybe not like a historic high, but certainly doing okay. But okay, let's talk about our challenges from last week.
Okay. So my assignment,
yes, communicating with El Doggos,
was dog-human communication. And
yeah,
like I was kind of stumped for a bit. But then I thought, you know how some service dogs, they say can either identify 200 different objects or they can compute like 200 different commands, like open the door, get me a water, get me a beer, turn the lights off. Like they're unbelievable dogs.
all dogs are unbelievable.
Well,
I don't believe them for a second.
All dogs are unbelievable. Credible, they are not. So I thought, chances are the dog is getting us. We just don't get the dog. We are the dumb ones. In the same way that I read a study a couple weeks ago on the internet about dog brain activity and how if you say things to your dog like, I love you, and like, I had the worst day at work today, and you make everything better. It's not just ba 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 da ba 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 ba. Like, yes, they like that tone of voice, but when you say the words that you're actually saying and not just gibberish, their brain activity is like spiking, like peaks and valleys, rather than just like happy, high-pitched gibbering. They did these like studies on dog brain waves or whatever. So whether or not you have taught your dog those specific...
Time out.
Yes.
Picture like an adorable little doggy with those little like brain wave things stuck on their head.
Or like a really super
In a
trained dog that's like in an MRI, like chin on the thing, like not moving. Like being
It's like,
so
and
good.
just thinking, I'm a good boy.
That's right. I'm a good boy. Yeah, so I am not anywhere close ever to understanding what my dog means. Like sometimes he'll stand in the room and he'll just like look at me and I'm like, what do you need? But I can say all these things and he knows. So this is like the most long-winded way to say this, but those smart toys that distribute treats?
Yes.
Like, it's like you have to press this light button and then this button lights up. And if you press them in that order, then the treat comes out. It's like a Simon Says, but like one of them is yes and one of them is no. And so you can ask your dog, like, are you hungry? And they can press the one that's like, no. Or do you need to go outside? Instead of like, sometimes that's like, I want to go to the park. Yeah. And so, yes, I want to go outside. Or sometimes it's like, no, I got to go potty. And yes, both of those are outside, but they're different things. I used to have a Boston Terrier that when he had to go to the bathroom, he would ring these bells that we had by the door. And at first, he got like a little too clever about it. And he was like, I want to go outside. Tingle, tingle, tingle. And we brought him outside. And then we were like, oh, this is a game to you. But then you don't want to take him outside to then teach him that
the dog who cried tingle, tingle, tingle.
That's right. But it would be super helpful if there was like a little Simon Says pad that they could like step on or boop their nose on. That was like, more treats, please, or something.
Yeah. Although, do you think that dogs have the ability to understand that like they can't have all of that stuff? Because if Daisy could have treats all day, every day, she would.
Right. I didn't think that far through. I didn't think that far through. I was just thinking like yes and no, or like potty.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I guess it could be something that you take out only when they're just like whimpering or something, just so that you can like understand what they're whimpering about.
Or you could even customize it. It could actually be like Simon Says with like 6 different colors instead of 4. And you could customize what the color means. So in our family, blue means fill up my water bowl, you idiot. Because you didn't notice. And like maybe the light would stay on in the same way when you're on an airplane. If you press the stewardess button, it like stays on until you press it again or the stewardess comes over. Or steward.
Flight attendant.
So maybe it would be like one of those things where if they press it, then it stays on until you address it. Or... I don't know, maybe you're super fancy and you're like rice or chicken and they press, the green button because they'd like rice tonight. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't think that far. I was just like, what kind of communication most of the time I feel like it's that like my dog totally gets me. I just
Right.
don't get what my dog is trying to say. So
Yeah,
a
that's
Simon
probably
Says
true.
indicator.
I like it. It would need a large amount of training, but I like it.
Depends on the dog.
It does depend on the dog. That is true.
It would take a lot for my dog.
Mine too. I recently called a trainer to try to figure out some stuff with Daisy, and he's saying we're gonna have to do like so much stuff that like we've tried before that has been a complete failure, like crate training. And Daisy's 8. She is just like, hell no, I'm 8, bitch. And yeah, she's just not having any of that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, training dogs to do anything is very difficult. I guess unless they're like fresh out that doggy womb.
It's
I'm
like
a puppy.
amazing when I'm watching different dog shows and they're like, trailer is 10 months old. And I'm like, what? How is that
Yeah.
dog doing that at 10 months old?
And trailer, what an interesting name.
Look, this is why I'm so good at improv.
Because you're an improv and like everybody's name is Trailer. Oh, hey, Trailer.
I don't know. Look, it's a girl's name. It's a boy's name. It's a dog's name. It works.
Trailer. So you challenged me to come up with an idea having to do with bow ties.
That's right.
And yeah, and I gave it some thought, and there's the kind of like clip-on bow tie that like with the little like hook or whatever that could probably fool some people if they're, looking and they see like, oh, there's a strap that's going around the neck, so it must be real. Whatever. And you know what? Nothing really particularly wrong with those. But lately people definitely are really into the like, ooh, tying your own bow tie. But I've tied my own bow tie before. It is tough.
Yeah.
And I've had people tell me like, it's just like tying a shoe. And it's like, no, it's not. It's thick and a pain in the butt to work with. So what if we incorporated slap bracelet technology? Your face just, yeah, right? So yeah, I don't know how it would necessarily work with the angles of it, but I'm sure some sort of like MIT engineering kid can like figure out how to just like take what's like a straight line, snap it around your neck, and it goes, and you got a bow tie.
I love it. Yes. MIT, get on that.
MIT, call
Get on it.
304-804-IDEA and tell us we're on it.
And send us the prototypes.
Please, because I'd love to try that out, unless it's unsafe and would murder me.
Like I like call you on the phone or you call 911 and there's like pulsing blood coming out of your neck because you've like slapped this piece of like steel, this fabric encased razor blade.
Yeah. Yeah. But do you remember there was like that whole slap bracelet like scare where people were getting cut?
Yes, but part of this is like not related, but kind of related, just like parenting. I was gonna say I was at I was at all these international airports, and you know how there's different stores. I was like, Kinder eggs, and we can't have them in America
Right.
because children choke.
Choking.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, are you kidding? Watch your kid for 2 minutes while they eat this egg. Make sure they don't eat the toy. Like, is this what, like, why can the rest of the world have nice things? I wasn't
That's a good
upset about
point.
it. But I was.
Yeah. Make America great again.
Kinder
Give us
eggs.
Kinder eggs.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, the slap bracelet thing, I think that was partially parenting, but also like
Urban myth?
just idiots, and probably like 99.9% urban legend. Yeah, where it's like, my cousin goes to school with somebody who has a cousin who, got murdered by a slap bracelet. Not true.
Yeah. Or then you got to be like, look, this is just like, what is that called? Like survival, not evolution, but.
Yeah, survival of the fittest.
I mean, your cousin was going to go from a number of things if this is what took them down.
At least they died of something hilarious.
That's right.
And really cool.
That's right.
Yeah, those things were so simple, yet so fantastic.
Oh my gosh. I loved mine. It's
a pretty solid tool and accessory.
It was so cool.
Right. So I've already given you your challenge for the next episode.
Yeah.
What you got from me?
You know what? I'm not going to lie. I didn't think about this, but
you've had plenty of time.
Yeah. I actually just looked at a different idea that I had.
Uh-huh.
So I'll just weave it through that. When you are on incredibly long flights, your ankles and your feet swell up.
Okay.
That's your challenge.
Ooh, swolly ankies.
On long flights. Yeah. What can you...
I don't know, but whatever it is, I've already got a name for it. And it's
Swelly Yankees?
No, it is a play on a musical. It's called Damn Ankies.
I love it. Okay.
All right, so Damn Ankies, I will come up with an idea based on that. Wait,
okay.
What did I challenge you to?
Corgi butts.
That's right, corgi butts. I love them. They're so funny.
Damn Ankies. Oh my God. That's like already my favorite for next week. Oh my God.
And yes, everybody listening, you haven't done it in a while, but do it. And we'll play it on the show. Call 304-804-IDEA and leave us your great idea. And or you can email it to us, greatideapod@gmail.com.
You can text it.
You
to
can
the
text
same
it
number.
to 304-804-IDEA. And yeah, social media, we're on it. We're casually active. And the Uproar podcast. I just maybe be on the lookout for that. I don't know.
Yeah.
It might happen. I
don't know. Yeah. I mean, we at least got the rights or the name or the...
I mean, it's not locked down until it's locked down.
We got the flag in it that says it's ours if we decide to colonize.
We have the phone number.
and an official high heel.
And an official high heel, which I have to go onto Instagram and check that out.
Oh, man. It's pretty great.
Well, I want to thank you all for listening. Thanks for bearing with us while we took some time off while Louise was just traipsing around the planet.
I have lots of comments that we can continue to talk, not ideas, just comments about vacation and like how it happens and how it can happen more and why everybody's backwards. But that could be at a different time.
Perhaps that could be on an episode of Uproar.
Oh, I like it.
If we can weave it in somehow, we can do an episode on, that's a vacation-based episode.
Okay. Air travel.
I'm sure that people are always in an uproar about something having to do with air travel.
Oh,
like
did you not hear the leggings?
What? The leggings, yes.
Although, did you hear the full story?
What's the full story?
Those people were flying for free because they were like friends of United employees. And if you are a paying customer, do whatever the hell you want. If you're under United and you're flying for free as like part of their employee perks, because you can have like your family fly. If you work, right, as a flight attendant, you can have like your sister fly for free to whatever.
Sure, yeah.
If you are doing that, there is a handbook of what is considered appropriate. And coming up that it was spring break, they sent out a memo to all of the free passengers that said, just to remind you guys, because we know it's spring break and a lot of people are going to be using the company rewards flight program, please be mindful of the appropriate attire clause. So part of me is like, you can wear whatever you want. And then the next part of me is like, but you're flying for free.
Yes. Okay. I did not know that. That is an important detail.
Super important.
That changes everything for me.
I was like, me too, because I was in an uproar about it and was like trying to find all these like Twitter threads and like scrolling through all these pinned tweets, getting to like the ones that actually mattered. And then I was like, wait, hold up. Why is United backing this up? Wait, what? Wait.
Yeah.
It changes it. It turns that beat
really
around.
does.
That's a Gloria Estefan moment.
Kind of makes me want to do the Congo, you know?
Yeah.
I was just
Flight travel,
thinking about
United.
something else.
Uproar.
Maybe I was just thinking about how if they should be pissed off about anything and just be people traveling wearing pajamas. Put on some real clothes, people.
Oh, yeah. People in slippers. People carrying pillows.
People carrying pillows.
Is
I get
my
like the travel neck
least
pillow.
favorite thing.
Yeah.
On a charter bus, on an airplane, you don't need your
Yeah.
own pillow. You're going to a hotel. And I know it's gross, but people do it. It's grosser that you bring your pillow.
Yeah.
Or that's what I think.
Uproar! It's happening.
That was the preview for the first episode.
Oh my god. Maybe it was. All right, well, anyway, thank you everybody for listening. I love doing this.
Yeah, thanks for hanging
And
out with
it's
me.
So much fun. Thank you for hanging out with me, Louise. And yeah, catch y'all next time.
Bye.
I don't see it happening.